Green Week. Now, with everything you need to know to get an eco-friendly lawn, with Editor-in-Chief of Better Homes and Gardens, Stephen Orr. Welcome, Steve.
Good to be here.
I've got my protective gardening gloves on.
Fantastic. We don't want you to get dirty.
Right.
But this is soil, not dirt, so it's a good thing.
This is soil.
But what we're trying to do today is talk about, everyone loves their lawn. Everyone wants that beautiful patch of green in front of their house. But we want to be...
Why is the grass always greener next door, Stephen?
Because they're probably using too much nitrogen.
Got it.
Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Too much nitrogen.
But what you want to do is make sure that you're tending your lawn responsibly. And to do that, you want to make sure that you pay attention to soil conditions first and foremost.
Okay.
And what the base of any good lawn is the soil. So you want to make sure you have the right soil. One way you can do that is to, and go ahead and feel how good this soil. You want loose, friable soil. This is called friable, meaning that it kind of is loose like that.
Yeah.
So, if we'll get to some problems with soil later, but one of the first things you want to know is your soil acidic or alkaline?
Oh.
And there's a scale. This is from 1 to 10. You want to be in 6 or 7. And if you pop it in, this is soil we purchased, so it's really good soil. So it's going to be neutral. It should be around 6 or 7.
It is.
Yeah.
And so that tells you immediately that my soil's in the right range. If you need to add lime, if it's too acidic, or if you need to add something to make it less alkaline, you can do that as well. But that's kind of the first step.
Okay.
Then you want to make sure, this is the complicated part, and there's a little chemistry, and I might have gotten a C in chemistry in high school, but you want to have, if you're really concerned about your lawn, it's not doing well, dig up some soil samples and you can mail them off. Google Cooperative Extension Agent for your state, and they will analyze your soil and give you a full report what you're lacking. Wow. And then you can know, okay, I don't want to over-fertilize, I don't want to use too many chemicals, I want to use organic fertilizers, so you can know I need to have more nitrogen, which is the N, have more phosphorus, which is the P, and have more potassium, which is the K, which on all bags of fertilizer, it'll have those 3 numbers.
Audience, are you writing all this down?
It's like Mr. Wizard.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and that's the basis of good soil, because what happens a lot is you might buy a house and it has really great soil, and then you say, I want to be organic, I'm not going to use all these fertilizers. And over time, it will be something where you'll see that the lawn needs some help. The next thing you're going to come up with is weeds. Weeds are a big problem.
Yeah, big problem.
Big problem. And the one we all see this time of year, dandelions. Use this weeder. A weeder like this that has very long can get the taproot out, because if you leave the root, it comes up.
It comes. My dad would have me do that in our lawn.
And so having a taproot weeder is really good. You can also use one that's standing. And then for the weeds, for an eco-friendly way to handle weeds in the cracks of your driveway or sidewalk or on the edges of anything, not that you have cracked sidewalks, you would make this mixture. So I'll tell you how to do it. Just carefully pour some vinegar. Vinegar? That's the acid in the vinegar is really going to take the weeds out.
Huh.
And to add a little salt kind of helps take the root of the weed out, and then a little, and then to take some little bit of dish soap in there actually makes it stick to the leaves. And you can then spray it. I don't recommend we spray it on the set because the whole place will smell like a salad. Okay. But then you spray it on the weeds, and it should wither in a couple of hours, especially in the ground.
But it won't kill the plants.
It kills the weeds, but if you spray it on the lawn, it might do a little bit of damage.
Okay. So just very carefully.
Yeah. Carefully and targeted. You don't want to do everything. Okay. So once you've done that, the next thing you want to do is make sure you overseed.
Overseed.
Yeah, so you can pour more seed, you can scatter more seed, so pour this right into your handler here. This is a seed spreader. And when you do that, see this little trigger here?
Yep.
Pull that in, and then you do that.
Okay.
And the seeds will, this is a tiny space, but when you're walking around your property, it'll spread it everywhere. Overseeding helps combat weeds because the weed then your turf grows really tightly. And once you've done that, anytime you have a bare spot, it's great to do this. Do it in the springtime. I usually overseed in the springtime just to get another round of fresh grass growing.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. More tips on how to get an eco-friendly lawn. When we come back, stick around.
We are back with the Editor-in-Chief of Better Homes and Gardens, Stephen Orr, and he's showing us now how to get an even more eco-friendly lawn.
Yeah, how often should we be watering our lawn?
Well, that's a big thing. People tend to overdo everything on their lawns. They overfeed, they overwater. Water infrequently, but deeply. So maybe an hour, maybe once a week. Depends on the weather and where you live. But you don't want to water shallowly because it makes the roots grow shallowly.
Okay, aeration.
Well, one thing you do if you water and you notice that the water is pooling or the ground is really hard, you mentioned you might have some compacted soil, you want to aerate. These are funny little shoes. They look like medieval torture devices, but you can strap these to your shoes and walk around. It's pretty much of a big workout. You'd only want to do it on a small lawn. If your lawn is really aerated or really compacted or large, you want to get a professional to do it.
With those machines,
and that's where you see those little things come up that look like goose poop.
Yep.
That's what that is when you go to someone's house and they have all that over the lawn. That's what that is.
All right.
I really want to videotape Mark wearing these shoes.
I'll do it.
Aerating the
Well,
lawn.
our producer said that her father just loves doing it. They just take videos of him doing it in the backyard.
It's incredible. These are incredible.
All right, mowing the lawn. What type of mowers?
Well, this is the most eco-friendly mower you can have, Mark. Why don't you give this a try?
This is old school.
I used to see this on Leave It to Beaver.
So yeah, this is a real mower. They're made still, and they're really great because it's just human power, and also it's putting the grass clippings right back in the lawn.
And can you adjust the height?
You can adjust the height, and also it mulches as it goes. You can also use an electric mower, which are great. Electric mowers have some mulching attachments that you want to get that back in the grass.
So we want the grass clippings in the grass.
You do want the grass.
We
it's like
don't
a
want
mulch.
it like backed up.
You don't.
I see.
You want the
Okay.
clippings to go back in, yeah?
You do, and you want it to be chopped fine and making a little bit of a mulch, which helps protect them and keep them moist.
I love this.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great workout. You would never have no flabby triceps with this thing.
Thank you, Stephen.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. For more like this, make sure you pick up a copy of May 2024 issue of Better Homes and Gardens on newsstands now. We'll be right back.